Guys, I'm still processing what we just witnessed under those Marina Bay lights. After watching that qualifying session, I've got so many questions racing through my mind. How did Mercedes find nearly 2 tenths on everyone? Where did McLaren's pace disappear to? And most importantly, has Max Verstappen just been handed the perfect opportunity to blow this championship race wide open? Here's what had me absolutely speechless. George Russell somehow found pole position out of nowhere. Max Verstappen is hunting down the McLarens like a man possessed, and championship leader Oscar Piastri might have just handed Verstappen the perfect opportunity to close that 69-point gap. But here's the thing that will blow your mind. I'm going to walk you through every single driver from P20 all the way up to pole position because the stories buried in the midfield are just as crazy as what happened at the front. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this qualifying session might have just changed the entire championship fight. So buckle up, hit that like button if you're ready for some chaos, and let's dive into the madness that was Singapore qualifying. Let's start with the heartbreak at the back because these stories matter just as much. P20 was Pierre Gasly and P19 was Esteban Ocon. Pierre Gasly's qualifying ended in the most frustrating way possible, a hydraulic failure that brought out yellow flags and ruined everyone behind him's final attempts. The guy was actually showing decent pace earlier in the session, but when your car decides to give up on you in Q1, there's literally nothing you can do. Esteban Ocon in the Haas was caught up in the same yellow flag situation. He needed that final push to escape Q1, but Gasly's breakdown meant game over. Sometimes F1 is just cruel like that. P18 was Franco Colapinto and P17 was Lance Stroll. Franco Colapinto struggled in his Alpine all weekend. The rookie showed flashes but couldn't find the extra tenth needed to escape Q1 elimination. Lance Stroll, and here is where it gets emotional, guys. Lance Stroll's radio message after getting knocked out was absolutely heartbreaking. It always goes bad, man. He was genuinely devastated. This track has been his nemesis. Remember that massive crash here in 2023? The psychological battle at Singapore is real. P16 was Gabriel Bortoleto and P15 was Yuki Tsunoda. Gabriel Bortoleto missed out by just 45 hundredths of a second. The Sauber's rookie 7 race streak of out-qualifying teammate Hülkenberg finally came to an end. Yuki has been having problems in that second Red Bull seat, but Q2 eliminations always sting when you're in a Red Bull. The gap to his teammate Max was over a second, shows you just how much overworldly Verstappen's pace was tonight. P14 was Liam Lawson and P13 was Carlos Sainz. Liam Lawson crashed twice this weekend, once in FP2 and once in FP3. His Racing Bulls mechanics worked miracles to get him back out, but the loss of practice time showed. Carlos Sainz looked so promising in practice, but when it mattered in Q2, that Williams just couldn't find the pace, fighting the rear of the car all session long. P12 was Alex Albon and P11 was Nico Hülkenberg. Albon calls Singapore his home race, and you could see how much P12 hurt him. Williams had early promise but couldn't capitalize when it counted. That's the cruel reality of the midfield fight. Nico Hülkenberg got knocked out in final moments of Q2. The Sauber driver had been struggling with qualifying recently. He was just 65 hundredths away from Q3. P10 was Fernando Alonso and P9 was Oli Behrman. Fernando Alonso continued his Singapore magic. The Aston Martin legend was fastest in FP1 and kept that momentum going. Singapore doesn't expose his car's weaknesses, and at 43 he's still finding ways to maximize every opportunity. Oli Behrman delivered another standout performance. The Haas rookie has been impressive all season, and getting into Q3 at one of the toughest tracks shows his raw talent. P8 was Isaac Hadjar and P7 was Charles Leclerc. Isaac Hadjar, the French rookie, has been absolutely flying all weekend. At one point in Q1, he was actually fastest overall. These racing bulls might not look like much, but Hadjar's have been extracting pace that nobody expected. Charles Leclerc survived a massive scare in Q2. The Ferrari driver hit the wall at turn 14 and was sitting in an elimination zone before his final lap. He left it super late but rescued the Q3 spot when it mattered. P6 was Lewis Hamilton and P5 was Lando Norris. Lewis is still hunting for his first podium in Ferrari colors this season. P6 gives him a real shot at it. But here's the drama. He was under investigation for a potential red flag infringement. The stewards cleared him, but imagine if he gotten a penalty after showing this pace. Lando Norris. This is where the championship picture gets scary for McLaren fans. Lando was expecting to dominate Singapore. This track should suit the MCL 39 perfectly, but P5, when your championship contender teammate is P3 and Max Verstappen is bringing down your neck in P2, Houston, we have a problem. P4 was Kimi Antonelli and P3 was Oscar Piastri. The rookie sensation, Antonelli out-qualifying Lando Norris. This kid had moments in practice, nearly losing it at turn 1, getting caught up in traffic, but when it mattered, he delivered. Future world champion pace right there. Oscar Piastri did damage control, but nothing more. The championship leader needed to maximize points over Norris, and he did that by out-qualifying his teammate by almost 2 tenths, but McLaren's pace deficit was clear. They are not the dominant force we expected. P2 was Max Verstappen and P1 was George Russell. Max Verstappen was absolutely furious after this session. The Red Bull driver aborted his final flying lap and his engineer told him, "You can thank your mate for that," clearly blaming Norris for compromising his lap. Verstappen didn't name names, but said the incident would be remembered. With the championship still mathematically possible, every tenth counts. George Russell, pole position. Nobody saw this coming. This is the same guy who crashed in FP2, the same Mercedes team that's been struggling for pace all season, but Russell found something special on his Q3 attempt to steal pole from everyone. He brushed the wall during his pole lap and still found time. That's not just pace, that's pure courage under pressure. Russell's second pole of 2025. So there you have it, every single driver qualifying story from P20 to pole position. But here's the big picture takeaway. This championship fight just got a whole lot more interesting. Verstappen starting P2 with race winning pace, Piastri only P3 with McLaren looking vulnerable, and Russell on pole. Sunday's race could completely shake up this title fight. What do you think? Can Russell convert this pole to victory? Will Verstappen finally get his first Singapore win? Can Piastri maintain his championship lead? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe.